What's going on, guys? It is Chris here, back in the building, and today, well tonight I should be saying, I am reviewing the Spot up in Chinatown. But yeah, so it's like 11 o'clock, well just short of 11 o'clock. I'm here with Claudia and Erin right here, and I'm gonna review a couple of drinks. I'm gonna let the carnage unfold. This is going to be an unfiltered vlog, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think of the Spot and do I recommend it. A brutally honest review of the Spot LDN. Keep watching. Anyways, without further ado, let's get the review started. Right, so here we are, 4 Macclesfield Street. Behind me is the Golden Gate Cake Shop. I'm going to take you guys inside to see what it's like in there. Well, behind me you've got, well, the bar right there. But I'm going to take you guys downstairs because downstairs is actually a private hire room. Sorry for the noise, guys, but I'm walking down the stairs now because right behind me, this is the private hire room. It's nice and cool in here. We got the menu in my hands. I have to tell you what though, it is possibly one of the best cocktail bars up in Chinatown. Yeah! One thing I do have to say though, look at that. It says Earth, doesn't say a table number. It's such a unique thing. Right, as you can see, I am back in my own home. But unfortunately, I am going to have to keep the noise down because it is just coming up to 1:30 in the morning. But after going to the bar, I'm going to review it based on the following 9 factors. And they are the following: aesthetics, whether it's good on the outside of the bar or the inside of the bar for that matter. The atmosphere, whether it encourages people to come to the bar more often for that matter if they haven't been before, or whether they don't want to come to the bar for that matter. The creativity, as you can see from the previous clip that I showed you guys, that the tables had names, not numbers for once, which I found pretty interesting. Although I didn't show you guys on the outer tables of the bar, they had place names. So for example, they had place names such as London, Rome, Miami, etc. Drinks, well, they're the cornerstone or the heartbeat to any cocktail bar, so of course they're going to be reviewed. Why not? Food, well, I didn't have any food on tonight's adventure at the Spot, but I might as well review it anyway based on what I've seen on the menu, although I have to admit it won't be the fairest judgment, I have to say. Location, whether it's a good location or not within London, or for any cocktail bar outside of London, whether it's a good location within the UK or within its respective city centre. The size of the cocktail bar is another one that I'm going to be judging it on. The staff, whether they're friendly or not. And last but not least, value for money, because you want to go to a cocktail bar, but at the same time, you want to know whether it's worth it in terms of price. And all scores are going to be given out of 10, so in total, it should come to a total of 90 points at the end of the day. Right, so as you can see on the screen right now, I have provided some pictures of what was it like inside the bar and the drinks that I did sample throughout the evening. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. And personally, what I thought aesthetics wise, I think it was a fairly respectable score from the Spot LDN. Good interior design, good exterior design for that matter. I thought it was quite imaginative, quite bright, bold colours. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Atmosphere in the bar, I have to say, there weren't that many people that entered the bar by the time that we entered, and that was around 7:15 in the evening, I have to admit. So maybe not everyone's going to be entering at that time, but as the evening progressed, I thought the atmosphere just got better and better and better. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Creativity, well, I have to say though, with some of the drinks that they offered, and as you can see from the pictures that I provided, the names were quite unusual, and I have to respect them for that. Plus the fact that I mentioned the table names were given to each table rather than using the bog standard
table numbers like 1, 2, 3, etc. I thought that was very respectable, and for that reason, it deserves top marks at 10 out of 10. Right, moving on to the next part of the review, the drinks. I have to say, I thought the cocktails were pretty decent, apart from the panda colada, which I'll be brutally honest, I thought was very, very bitter and left a very bad aftertaste in my mouth. And for that reason, I'm going to have to say 6 out of 10, which I had to admit I don't really want to, but it's definitely not the best cocktail I'm going to have in a very long time. The other cocktails, though, were fine to say the least. It's just the panda colada that really stood out quite badly. Food wise, I can't really judge the food, but for obvious reasons, I'm going to be unbiased. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10 because at the same time, I can't judge it any higher in case that I do come back to the bar in the future, and say, okay, it's better than last time, but at the same time, I can't grade it too harshly in the sense that, okay, I'm just giving out ones and twos for no reason. So just to make sure, I'm giving the food a 5 out of 10. Location wise, actually, I thought location of the spot was very good because the way that the bar is situated within Chinatown is that it's between Gerrard Street and it is opposite the Golden Gate Cake Shop in Chinatown. For those that are Chinatown regulars or don't know it pretty well, there's a street linking between Shaftesbury Avenue and Gerrard Street, and Macclesfield Street is the one that connects both streets, where you find the Golden Gate Cake Shop and a few other bars. You see a Dutch bar there and a restaurant right at the very end of Macclesfield Street, and the spot is pretty much dead centre of the street. So for that reason, I'm going to have to say 10 out of 10 for location for the spot. In terms of size though for the bar, I have to say I know it is London, and pretty much for all Londoners that can relate, size is pretty much a scarcity, and property values are like ridiculously high. So it's understandable that to find a cocktail bar that is quite large is quite difficult for that matter. And given where the spot is located within Chinatown, I have to say they have done a pretty good job with the fact that you've got the pretty much the first floor as you enter and the lower ground floor or basement or however you want to put it. I'm not going to argue with you guys. Like, I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. But when I showed you guys the lower floors early on in the video, that was the size of it, and I thought it was pretty impressive that they made the most of that space. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give them an 8 out of 10 for size-wise. Staff-wise, they're actually really friendly though tonight, and they were great in serving us all the drinks. They were constantly asking us, oh, do you want shots? Do you want cocktails? Do you want any orders? As much as some people, they don't always like the fact that they're being pestered for drinks and orders, because at the same time they see it as like, oh, the business is trying to make money because it is London and they need to stay in business amid these very uncertain times during the COVID-19 crisis, which hopefully, fingers crossed and touch wood, that we get out of as soon as possible. But I thought they did a very good job tonight, and for that reason they get 10 out of 10. And last but not least, value for money. And I have to say, £5.50 for cocktails up in London, that's not bad given London prices. So for that reason, I'll keep it short and simple. They're going to get a solid 8 out of 10. So the Spot bar scored a very impressive 77 out of a possible 90 points. I'll provide a breakdown of the point scoring in the description below and on the screen right now for those that are interested for that matter. And thanks very much guys for listening, and apologies for the lack of volume and enthusiasm in this video, because at the same time I'm filming this at practically 1:30 in the morning, so I can't disturb anyone in my house. But at the same time, catch you guys next time, and peace out.